Patsy, I'm telling you, you look on Patsy's face. I'm not going to say she seems gullible, but I'm just saying she seems like somebody, and I won't even say that she seems naive. I Patsy looks to me like somebody who is stubborn, or man, I don't even know what to call it, but like, man, the word was on the tip of my tongue. Compliant. Patsy is compliant. You know what? I might not agree with it, but I am compliant to what you're asking me to do. I'm a ride or die with whatever you got going on. And that's the thing about Patsy. Patsy might be ride or die. Take everything with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, he was connected with Lockheed Martin, who at the time and still is very capable of making bad things go away image wise, of course. But for lots of it, I think it's best to just stick with what is known. If you wish to dig into Access Graphics, take a close look at its European sister's operation. I mean, look, man, I want to dig. I want to dig because I want to know what's going on. I want to dig into Access Graphics, and because they're not going to tell me. They're not going to tell me what I need to know. They're not going to just put it out there like, "Hey, this company is washing money. Hey, this company is trafficking." They're not going to tell me all that. Why would they? You know. So I gotta know because, and John dang sure ain't gonna tell me because every time you ask John something, John is confused. John doesn't know anything, right? John is very strategic of what he does and doesn't know, and Patsy is the same thing, and they got the lawyer to help him back him up with it. So I understand this. I understand this perspective of just stick with what we know. Heck no. If you are moving around with the big wigs like that, and somebody brings in the fact and they put in your letter, you're not the only fat cat in town. That means that you move weight. You move with the big wigs already. And so somebody has to make a reference to you, first of all, to your company. Look at this big shot, this hot shot with this company. Hey, make it seem like, I'm a hot shot because you are. Oh, make it seem like, I'm a big wig and I think I'm the big wig in town. Well, you are kind of maybe the only big wig in town, but you're starting to get up there with the big wigs. You're starting to do the things that the big wigs do. You have the money of the big wigs. You have the house of the big wigs. You have the friends of the big wigs. So you are undercover, but that don't change nothing. So we got to, how to hide things. So we got to look deeper and we have to dig into what exactly you got going on the back end. Understand it was located in a country that, I understand that the European sister was located in a country that was considered at the time to be one of the largest protectors of people, of child lovers, lots of man boy love. Okay. Production came from there. And they're saying that about Colorado. Horrific programs of hard candy, such as what you call it, child information exchange existed from there, and the amount of planning was staggering. Operations involving magazines, printing materials, etc., including Spartacus that featured Francis Sheldon. So they saying over there, it was a whole operation. That almost sounds like Epstein Island, bro. Either this dude was Epstein at the same time as Epstein or Epstein before Epstein. Epstein may have learned from him. John may have got it started and Epstein might have been like, "Hey, yo, I like that. Let's do more of that." Allegedly. Operations involving setting up tourist attractions internationally for children, including boys, town mall, similar to the operations ran on North Fox Island. What is North Fox Island? Oh boy. You got a dark past. North Fox Island is approximately 17 miles from the tip of Lilanu Peninsula. Since 2015, the island has had its own landing strip. Bruh. For private planes to land, bringing curious visitors. It's gorgeous with many snakes slithering through the wilderness, but aside from the scenery, it offers, unfortunately, a dark past. A man who had the island, oh boy, was running a P ring on North Island during the 1960s and 70s. It was believed that by many, that there was a connection between Oakland County child killer crimes, but nothing conclusive. Today, it remains uninhabited, and anyone who lands there or sails there is welcome to hike or bike through it. In doing so, you might come across old-fashioned fallout shelters and a few dwelling type buildings. It's not known if these buildings had anything to do with the above mentioned crimes, but for anyone familiar with those stories, it gives off a definite unpleasant feeling when coming across them. Got a land strip right there. But it's like you have this island with this landing strip to just boom. You got Michigan, and it's right here, close to Michigan. Quite honestly, John is from Michigan. It's crazy. Similar to the operation in North Fox Island. And so basically, it's a possibility that, these guys were able to move these children from, a safe inhabitant to the island. Possibly, I think, is what's being said here. And one of the key players being in Boulder, and a print shop associated with that key player, and on the other end, a print shop associated with the Netherlands region, and somewhere in close proximity to each of those businesses is Access Graphics on both ends. Coincidence? And then you look into the fact that Sheldon had to get approval from Ramsey's father for the North Fox Island operation, and understood that James Dudley was a czar of his airstrips and would make routine trips to all of his approved airstrips. And that shortly after the scandal quietly leaked in one county in Michigan, he was buried by the state. James Dudley refused to run another election, even though he was relatively younger than most would consider retirement age. This right here, man. This right here has got me. John Ramsey was born the son of Mary Jane and James Dudley J. Ramsey, decorated World War II vet, pilot. Okay, so John had pilot in his blood. Graduated from MSU, bachelor's in electrical engineering, earned his master's, and he got his MBA. Spent time in Atlanta, advanced product group. Yeah, that's true. It's very, very generic stuff. The three companies merged, became Access Graphics. So he was a pilot, so he would have some control over airstrips. Sheldon had to get approval from Ramsey's father for the North Fox Island air operation. I just want to see if there's any connection. Okay, if I can get a connection. Just want to see. I'm not saying that there isn't a connection. I want to see if there's anything immediate. So this is okay, we might touch on that a little bit more. So they're claiming that there is a connection. Huh. Yeah, we might have to touch on that a little bit more. I'll stop it right there. But that's very interesting, man, because what's being alleged is that there is a ring there. And so it might be the case that they're alleging that John was in on that ring in creating it, and somehow JonBenet was subject to that ring because she was a young lady, and maybe even John's older daughter. Very interesting. So that's the video. Stick with me, man. That was interesting. But until the next video, take it easy.